As part of We the People, celebrating 250 years, here's This Day in History.
We are continuing our countdown to next summer, America's 250th birthday on July 4th, and we're sharing our We the People series, the people, places, and things of the past that have shaped our country into what it is today. We got Charlie Shortino on the couch. What do we got today, Charlie?
On this day, November 18th, back in 1911, the University of Wisconsin-Madison had its first ever homecoming
game. All right.
Yeah, the game was against the University of Minnesota. The game ended in a 6-6 tie.
Ooh.
Like kissing your sister, right? The idea of homecoming was still fairly new at the time. The Wisconsin Alumni Organization organized an all-alumni get-together with donuts, apple cider, and, of course, the football game. The Wisconsin Alumni Magazine asked former Badgers to come back to campus for the game, hoping to make an annual tradition out of it. Many alumni did just that. And so they established a planning committee to make homecoming bigger and better. Now homecoming is celebrated over the span of a week with various events such as Fill the Hill, the homecoming parade, and of course, the homecoming football game. That's this day in history.
Yep.
November 18th.
This year it was against Iowa, I believe, right?
Is it?
Yeah, this year it was, yeah, in October. Yeah, early October.
I don't think I was at that game.
No. The parade was fun. I was in the parade. Gabriella
Yes.
and I walked in the parade, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Homecoming's a fun time of the year.
Yeah, it's a good time down on campus, as long as the weather cooperates.
Right, exactly.